Okay. Good afternoon, dear exhibitors, visitors, participants, and invited guests of the 14th Travel Turkey Izmir Digital Fair. It's an honor and privilege for us to participate in this important fair, which is aimed to get in contact different tour operators, different countries, different peoples together. So today we will be presenting you Ethiopia, which is located at the Horn of Africa, which is basically designated as the land of origins. We will be presenting you this beautiful and rich in history. So we're happy to take part in this program. And my colleague, Walde Gabriel, will be presenting what Ethiopia is and why Ethiopia needs to be visited. So I will give the floor to Mr. Walde Gabriel.
Okay, thank you, Salam. So good afternoon, everybody, all the participants of this Izmir Digital Trade Fair. And as my colleague Salam has said, Ethiopia is branded as land of origins. And when we say land of origins, we are the origin of humankind. In the world, there are around 17 discoveries that show the evolution process of human being. And out of the 17 findings, 13 of them are found in Ethiopia. So when we say Ethiopia, land of origins, we are the cradle of humankind. And when we invite all tourists from all over the world, actually, we are inviting them to their origin. The second one is we are the origin of coffee. I think coffee is the most consumed product on daily basis. And in 2019 only, 2.26 billion cups of coffee are consumed per day. So this is this product, the most consumed product, originates in Ethiopia, and this is Ethiopia's gift to the rest of the world. Oh. So for to manage my time, I will only show you the highlights or the bird's eye view of what Ethiopia can offer for tourists.
Gabri, PowerPoint almata.
Oh, is that?
Share.
Okay. What about now?
Still desktop no.
Okay.
Share. Desktop no visible one. Yeah, now it can.
So we are the land of origins, and this is just to give you the highlights of what Ethiopia can offer for potential tourists. And when we promote Ethiopia as a tourist destination, basically we do have 5 major tourist routes where tourists can find an amalgam or a menu of outstanding tourist attractions that are natural, cultural, historical, and business and conference facilities. So those 5 routes are the historic North and the Summit Mountains, the Rift Valley and the cultural mosaic of the South, the East, the Nakil, Harar, and the Bale Mountains, the West, lush nature and coffee routes, and Addis Ababa and surroundings. So for all those travel trade representatives who are participating in this trade fair, those are the major routes that we can package together and promote Ethiopia as a tourist destination. So as you see in my screen, this the historical northern Summit Mountains is basically highlighted in blue, and it includes all the UNESCO registered World Heritage Sites, such as Aksum, an ancient civilization that dates back from the 10th century BC up to 8th century AD. And there are obelisks, palaces, cemeteries, and ancient coins, as well as archaeological sites that are worthy to be visited. We have Nagashi. We Ethiopians claim the first hijrah was from Mecca to Ethiopia. It was not from Mecca to Medina, because the close families of the Prophet, they were coming to Ethiopia in 1614, while the second hijrah from Mecca to Medina was in 622. So this means we claim ourselves, we are the first hijrah was from Mecca to Ethiopia, and this is the first Muslim settlement in the world, as well as the first mosque in the land of in the African continent. We do have Gondar, a medieval civilization that was the capital of Ethiopia from the 17th century up to the 9th century. And we brand Gondar as Camelot of Africa, where there are different palaces that show the civilization and the legacy of the medieval period. We do have Lalibela, the replica of the Holy Land or Jerusalem. We call it the African Jerusalem. And there are 11 rock-hewn churches hewn out of single rock. And it also depicts what Jerusalem or the Holy Land looks like. And it was started in the 11th century, and they are providing the same service still now. And most of the time, people say it is one of the 8 wonders of the world. It's basically Aksum, Al-Najashi, Gondar, and Lalibela. You know, it's very tough to describe and explain in words unless you come and visit them. So we do have the Lake Tana, which is the source of the Blue Nile. And as we know, the Blue Nile is the longest river in Africa, as well as, you know, we are the origin of Blue Nile, and Blue Nile nurtures the African civilization. All the civilization in Ethiopia, Sudan, and Egypt, all the ancient civilization were based in this Nile basin, and it's one of the UNESCO biosphere reserves, and it has 37 islands and more than 20 monasteries that dates back from 13th to 19th century. We do have the amazing national park, also registered by UNESCO, Samian Mountains National Park. It's basically one of the world's most spectacular landscape, and it is also regarded as the roof of Africa. And when you go there, there is an amazing landscape and rich fauna and flora, including the endemic mammals and birds. So we have those kind of wildlife like the Chelada baboon and the Wale ibex are among those endemic mammals that can be found in this national park. We do have the Gara Alta. There are more than 100 rock-hewn churches that grace the northern part of Ethiopia or the Tigray region, and they are less known, but they are an appropriate place for biblical tours or for those who appreciate both nature and religion. So the second one is the Rift Valley and the mosaic culture of the South. As you can see, this is highlighted in the southern part of the map, and you can see all the from Addis all south. So South Omo is Ethiopia's most culturally and linguistically diverse administration zone. It's in a given zone, there are 16 different ethnic groups with their own language, lifestyle, costume, food, and other. And you can imagine in one zone, you will get 16 different people that they live their indigenous life. Also, it's known for its archaeological site, and it's also one of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. We do have the Konso Cultural Landscape. This is also one of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. This is an ancient fortified village of the Konso Cultural Landscape. a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and is named after its Konso, the ethnic group that inhabits there, and they have an amazing water and soil conservation. We do have the Central Rift Valley, known for beautiful lakes, and it's also known for bird watchers. It's basically bird watching's paradise. So if you can, by the way, the Great Rift Valley is one of the only geological features that can be seen from the moon. And it's very rich in fauna and flora, mainly for bird watchers. We do have the Necessar National Parks, where we can find the zebra, and we do have so many beautiful lakes that we can see the crocodile, and it's also a place where bird watchers can enjoy their visit. The third route is the east, which includes the Danakil, the Harar, and Bale Mountains. And you can see from the northeast part of Ethiopia till the southeast part of the country, and is known for its history, amazing landscape, and fauna and flora too. So we do have the Danakil Depression, standard with the active volcanoes and explosive geysers, the Danakil, which drops to 116 meters below sea level. So when we talk about the Semen Mountains, we do have so many mountains, more than 4,000 meters above sea level. And we have also one of the lowest places on Earth with around 50 degrees Celsius. And the biggest highlight of the Danakil is the Erta Ale volcano. As you can see from the image, it's actually the active volcano, and it's world's oldest permanent lava lake are there. So for those who are adventure lovers, we can provide the volcano expedition or volcano climbing packages. We do have the Bale Mountains National Park. Bale Mountain National Park is a spectacular hiking destination, and it is Ethiopia's most important biodiversity hotspot. And this is known for its endemism. And only in this park, there are more than 1,300 plant species that are already identified, and there are 160 Ethiopian endemics and 23 that are unique to that park. So this is very known for its rich fauna and flora, as well as for its endemic mammals, birds, and endemic plant species too. So we have Harar. The atmospheric walls of Harar, Jagol, is the world's fourth holiest Islamic settlement next to Mecca, Medina, and Jerusalem. And Harar was found before the 7th century, reaching its climax during the 6th century. And we can imagine from the 7th century up to 16th century, there are so many heritage artifacts and legacies that can be visited. And what makes the world city of Harar unique is in 48 hectares, there are more than 82 mosques and over 400 shrines. So you can imagine the size of the city and the number of holy places there, both shrines and the mosques. We do have the Sof Omar Caves. It's one of the most spectacular and extensive underground caves in the world, and it's running for nearly 15 kilometers. So you can imagine 15 kilometers of cave and a natural wonder. And for those who organize specialized packages like caving, this is an appropriate place. And it's also an important pilgrimage site named after a very known sheikh who took refuge there in the 12th century. So it's both holy place as well as a natural wonder. We do have the Babile Elephant Sanctuary in the eastern part of Ethiopia. Babile is home to Africa's most northeasterly population of elephants, as well as other important wildlife species. So when we talk about wildlife, we have the big five. We have endemic mammals and birds. We have also, the common African wildlife. Another is the Danakil, or the northeastern part of Ethiopia, or the Afar region. It's very known for its being the cradle of humankind, and as I have said in my introduction, there are 17 discoveries in the world that show the evolution of human process and the evolution process of human being. And 13 of them are found in Ethiopia, in this northeastern part of Ethiopia, including the popular Lucy, Salam, RD, and others. So we have the western part of Ethiopia, which is known for its lush nature and coffee root. In my introduction, I have said coffee is Ethiopia's gift to the rest of the world, and we have the Kaffa Biosphere Reserve in the west, and the Kaffa Biosphere Reserve is the birthplace of Arabica coffee. Even that's why the name coffee in different languages is originated from this specific place, and there you can see wild coffee, and there are some 5,000 coffee varieties in Kaffa, which represent an enormous diversity and invaluable biological treasure for mankind. And Kaffa's evergreen forests are also Ethiopia's green lungs. So we can imagine in the west there is the forest, and the coffee there is, most of the coffee there is organic. And when I talk about coffee, for all the participants, when you have a cup of coffee, please remember Ethiopia, because this amazing product is Ethiopia's gift to the rest of the world. So we have the Gambela National Park in the western part of Ethiopia. Ethiopia's largest national park is the site of the Africa's second largest antelope migration. There is always an antelope migration from the Gambela to southern Sudan. So people can see, so many antelope migrations there. And the park is also a stronghold for the endangered Nubian giraffe. As you can see in the screen, we do have the giraffe there in the western part of Ethiopia. We have Wenche Crater Lake, which is very close to Addis, and an exotic volcano mount. Wenche encloses a large and beautiful crater lake, and the island monastery of Wenche is also there is one 13th century old monastery. And this is one of the places where our Prime Minister took the initiative to develop to a new world standard tourist destination. So the fifth route is Addis and its surrounding, and the world's third highest capital and the diplomatic capital of Africa. As we know, Addis Ababa, the headquarters of African Union, the headquarters of United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, and other international diplomatic center. So for those who are looking for destinations to host events, organize conferences, meetings, and others, Addis Ababa is an ideal place. So we have the recent developments of the Unity part that showed all the, the Ethiopian civilization that goes back to ancient time till the current one. And there are all the political legacies there, so it's open for visitors. And we have also the Ntoto Park. Those parks are basically developed by the Prime Minister, and they are now ready to attract tourists from different parts of the world. We do have Tiya, one of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites, which is not also far from Addis. And basically, those routes are the major highlights that show what Ethiopia can offer for tourists. And we do have, this outdoor experience. We do have the rock climbing, the volcano expedition, the desert expedition, biking, ballooning, paragliding, and others. But we do have the athletics, which is Ethiopia's national sport, and running is Ethiopian national sport. Enjoying, you can have the chance to train with the world champions there. Due to the suitable and comfortable weather throughout the year, it's an ideal place for people who want to join the Great Run or who want to train in Ethiopia. And this is a recently taken photo. This is the management of tourism Ethiopia, including me. And the people with us are basically the marathon national team of Turkey. And for the last 3 months, they are in Ethiopia preparing for the upcoming Tokyo Olympic. So you can imagine athletes can come and train with Ethiopians. We do have good training facilities too, and this is also a new segment that my government is looking to attract sport tourism, specifically athletics. So when we summarize it, Ethiopia is a country of rich history, a history as old as time itself. And we do have mosaic of culture, both tangible and intangible. By the way, we do have very colorful festivals, religious as well as public festivals. And in Ethiopia, there are more than 80 different ethnic groups with their own language, their own costumes, their own lifestyle, their own cuisine and everything. We do have spectacular landscape that includes the lush forest, semi-desert, and one of the lowest places and more than 4,000 meters above sea level. Too, we do have rich fauna and flora, both the plant species as well as mammals and birds. We do have outdoor experience, as I have said. We do have the trekking, hiking, sport tourism, camping, caving, rock climbing, volcano expedition, and others, including sport tourism. Now also we have established convention bureau that really focuses on attracting the meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions to Ethiopia. And we do have very hospitable people that they can welcome every tourist and generous enough to share what they have. So this is also one of the very unique values to Ethiopia. And also we do have very colorful festivals. And for those who are looking for investment, I know there are so many Turkish investments in the manufacturing sector, but still we are looking investors in the areas of tourism and hospitality. That includes the hotels, lodges, resorts, tour operation in joint venture with Ethiopians. Resort city, as I have said, we do have so many lakes, mainly in the Rift Valley. So you can think of investing in resort city, lodges and resorts, mobile camping, eco-lodge camps, helicopter tour, and activity-based investments like ballooning, boat transportation, and cable car too. So this is basically the highlight of Ethiopia. But if you want to know more about Ethiopia, I think our consulate there will provide you all the contacts, both from the private and from the government. And what can I assure you is my government and my office, whether you come as a tourist or as an investor, we will go an extra mile to make sure your experience is seamless experience. Thank you very much.
Video share. Video.
Yeah.
ዴስክቶፕ ነው እያየን ያለ ነው።
ይታያል?
ዴስክቶፕ ነው የሚታየው።
ኦኬ። What about now?
No.
ይታያል?
አልመጣም። ሼር አድርገው።
ኦኬ። What about now? ሰላም አሁን ይታያል?
ድምፁ ይመጣል ግን እንትን አይል ስክሪን ሼር አድርገው ገብሬ ሼር ስክሪን እያሉ ነው
አይ ነው እሱን እያደረኩ ነው አይ ዶንት ኖው ለምን እንደማይመጣ
በላ ሰሌክት ካረከው በኋላ ሼር የሚለው ኦፕሽን አልመጣልም
ያ ሰሌክት ለማድረግ ትንሽ ያስቸገረ ኦኬ what about now መጥቷል
አልመጣም ገብሬ ኦኬ እስከዛኔ ክሎዚንግ ሪማርክ ላድርግና
ያ እንደዛ ይሻላል
ረጃለ ቪዲዮውን ትለዋለህ
ጥሩ እሺ go ahead
ያንተ ላይ ነው ያለው ለነገሩ ያ አሁን ከፈተ በቃ ይሄን ዲስፕሌይ ካረግን ይበቃል ሰለኛት
አሁን ሰዓት የለም አንዱን ጨምረው እንትን ካላሉ ይታያል ሰላም
አይ
ይታያል
አይታይም
አይታይም
አሁን ይታያል
ኦኬ
ወይ ማለት ትችላለህ?
Okay. Thank you, everybody. And as you have seen in the last video, Ethiopia has got the safe travel stamp from the World Travel and Tourism Council based in London, which means Ethiopia is open and safe for tourists. And we are see you in Ethiopia.
Yeah. Okay, so I am sure that you have got a little bit of Ethiopia. So we are calling you to discover more about the enormous gifts, the historical, natural, and cultural sites of Ethiopia. We are calling you to visit Ethiopia, the land of origins, which is the home of everybody which is living in every part of the world. Ethiopia is the second home for everyone because our ancestors were there. They walked upright for the first time in our country. So that's why we are saying Ethiopia is the cradle of humanity. So we are calling you to discover Ethiopia. Anybody interested to visit our country, you can contact us here in the Ethiopian Consulate General Office in Istanbul. And also anybody, any tourist operator, if you have a plan or a wish to get in contact with our tour operators, you can also contact the Ethiopian Tour Operators Association. We are here to serve you, to help you. So visit Ethiopia, the land of origins, will be our message. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye, thank you.